Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at Open House. It's super nice to see all of you here today. Feel free to turn on your cameras or your mics to ask any questions and engage, but if not, that's okay too. I will get us started right here. My colleague Aiden will be sharing the slides, so please feel free to ask any questions once again. All right, so I will give a little bit introduction of myself right here. But once again, thank you for joining us at the Open Student or Open House Ask a Student webinar. My name is Fiona. I am a fourth year student here at the University of Calgary. And a little bit about myself, I am doing a co-op program here at the University of Calgary as a student recruitment ambassador during my co-op program term, so super exciting. I'm really excited to be here with you guys. And then my favorite thing here to do on campus is having coffee with my friends in the atrium. If you're not sure what the atrium is, it's a really great place to study if you want that outside vibe feel, because essentially it's this big forest inside place where you can sit, study, do really anything, and it just gets rid of that outsideness of it. So if you're scared that your papers are going to fly away or the sun's in your face, don't worry, the plants are still real in there. It's still a real feeling of being outside without being outside, which is why I really, really enjoy it. So really encourage you to look into that if you're interested in doing the same. A couple pictures here are some of the things I enjoyed doing in the city of Calgary. So I moved out from Saskatchewan myself. So I didn't always live in Calgary. So coming to Calgary, I've had to kind of find my way of how to explore the city and finding things to do. And definitely my favorite thing to do in the city of Calgary is exploring new eatery and like new restaurants and going to the Calgary Stampede. So on the picture here on the top left, top right, wherever that is, you'll see a picture of me in the mountains. I love exploring in the mountains and hiking with my friends. I'm standing in the middle road and it's a beautiful mountain behind me, so super cool. And then the one on the right is of me hiking yet again with my team here on the recruitment team. It's super fun to go hiking, and we're only about a few hours away from 6 major ski resorts, so super easy to go up to if you're interested during maybe a reading week or anything like that. Super convenient to go up there. And then lastly, Calgary Stampede. I love going to the Stampede and seeing so many different people, and there's so many things to try out. I tried alligator meat. I never thought I would try that, so definitely a lot of things to do and a lot of different rides and roller coasters. And it's a super fun time all around. But that is a little bit about me. Feel free to ask me any questions and I will pass it along to my colleague, Vanessa, to do hers.
So hi everyone, my name is Vanessa and I am a fourth year student in the Community Rehabilitation and Disability Studies program. To tell you a bit about myself, one of my favorite activities to do on campus is definitely going ice skating at the Olympic Oval. For those of you that are unfamiliar with what the Olympic Oval is, it is a 400-foot skating rink in the kinesiology building, which was initially built for the 1988 Winter Olympics. And so fun fact, it's known as the fastest ice in the world, and it's very cheap, inexpensive, and fun to go with all your friends. As for my favorite activity to do in Calgary, I'm a big food person, so I love visiting all the local restaurants and patios, and so I would definitely check that out. As for these photos, the first one is one that I took after hiking, and one is me checking out the restaurants in Kensington and skating along the Bow River. So I'll pass it over to Aiden.
Hi everyone, my name is Aiden and I am a fourth year Bachelor of Commerce student here at the Haskayne School of Business at the University of Calgary. A little bit about me. One of my favorite things to do on campus is study with my friends in the workrooms, which are located in Scurfield Hall. That is the main business building. And I really like those workrooms because they have whiteboards and I love just writing down things when me and my friends are studying, or if we're working on a group project. It's a really great way to just write everything down and explain your ideas and concepts. So that's one of my favorite things I like doing. And it's super easy to book out the workrooms online. You just enter your email and you can reserve the workroom, so you don't have to worry about finding a space. So that's, yeah, one of my favorite things to do on campus. And then my favorite thing to do in the city of Calgary is go on walks downtown. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, just going on a walk, that sounds kind of boring, but downtown, there's so much to see and do. It's always so much fun. There's always something going on, and the views are so pretty. There's so many parks around downtown as well, which is great also for scootering. I love scootering around the city. It's super fun. As you can see in that photo there, that is a photo of me downtown scootering. It's just like so much fun to do that with your friends, and you can go around to different restaurants or just different pathways. The other photo there is me and one of my colleagues who went on a camping trip, and there's so many different campsites, all like within an hour away from the city. As Fiona mentioned, we are super close to the mountains, so lots of opportunities for hiking and outdoor activities. So that is a huge part of my life and outside of school experience. And then the third photo there at the bottom is me and some of my fellow club members. I am involved in a business club on campus, and it's been a great way to meet new people and make new friends. So that is my team there. And yeah, it's just a super great way to make new friends. I would highly recommend getting involved in a club at the University of Calgary. So now I will pass it on to Aspa.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Aspa. I'm a third-year student completing my Bachelor of Commerce degree with a concentration in marketing. So my favorite thing to do on campus would probably be going to the third floor of TFDL to just socialize with my friends and also study. TFDL is the main library on campus, and it's actually the most technologically advanced library in North America, which is super cool. There's 6 floors, and the first 3 floors are decently social. And then as you get higher up, the floors get quieter. So super nice place to study, whether you're looking for somewhere quiet or somewhere a little more social. And they also have a bunch of workrooms in there as well. So yeah, I love to study there. And then my favorite thing to do in the city would probably be finding cool places to take photos with my friends. And then also eating at local restaurants. So at the top here, there's a photo of my friend and I that we took recently, just like in some cool parking area that we found. And then there's another photo with Aiden and I, also at the top there. So yeah, super cool places to take photos. These ones are pretty just low-key places, but there's a lot of very pretty places in the city, such as Crescent Heights. There's a whole lookout there, and downtown has a lot of cool areas as well. And then on the bottom here is me at a restaurant with some of my friends. This is actually a restaurant on campus called The Den. They have really, really great food, and the serving sizes are really big as well, so super nice to share. They have really great nachos, so if you guys ever go, highly recommend getting those. And yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Thank you for sharing, Aspa, Vanessa, and Fiona. So that's a little bit about ourselves. Thank you guys for listening. Now I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here, and we are going to get into any questions that anyone has. So if you want to unmute yourself, turn on your camera and your mic, just raise your hand and you can ask your question, or if you don't feel comfortable asking it, you can always type it in the chat and we can read it and we will respond to you and answer your questions. So yeah, feel free to ask away. And I see we already have a question. So Suhail, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
You didn't pronounce my name wrong. That's right.
Perfect.
But you can refer to me as SK. That's my nickname.
SK,
So anyway,
okay.
My question is it possible in UCalgary to have computer science as a major while at the same time having business as a minor?
I believe that you will be able to. I can always send you the computer science program page right here in the chat, and you will be able to find out more information that way. So I can just put that in the chat for you. Just give me 2 seconds here.
All right, thanks for answering the question. So I understand what you said. And also, if you mind, can you please send the minors list link in the chat?
Yes, I can look for that for you right now. In the meantime, I think that Matt was next. Matt Davies, if you want to ask your question.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it better to study, do you think it's better to study in like the city you're born in or like where you are now, or go somewhere else, like to a different city or something?
Sure, I'll pass this one off to Fiona to answer for you.
Thank you, Aiden. Personally, for myself, I'm actually not from Calgary. I wasn't born in Calgary, nor did I do high school in Calgary. I'm actually from Saskatchewan, and I chose to move out of the province for school. And I would say that it really depends on what you're looking for. For myself, I know that I was looking to move away from home and gain some independence, but also try out a new city where I could maybe learn if that city has good employment opportunities, as well if I maybe like that city for its opportunities for different events and different lifestyle. So I was definitely seeking to move out of the province for that. And I found the University of Calgary as something I was looking for, especially with the programs that they were able to provide. All of them were the programs that I was interested in, as well as the city of Calgary. I came here quite a few times before I attended the University of Calgary, and I just really loved how the city felt, how welcoming the city was. And then I also did a tour here on campus, and I really enjoyed how welcoming the community on campus was. So that is why I chose to move out to province for school and out of my home for school. But that's a little bit of my own experience on why I chose to move. Did that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think the next question here is from Prisha. So is there an interview portion for admissions for first year students? I will give this one to Vanessa to answer.
Okay, so actually for our undergraduate program, like degree programs, there are no interview portions that you would have to do. There are some degrees in the fine arts that you might have to do an audition, but in terms of interviews, we do not have interviews for first year undergraduate students.
I hope that helped. All right, next question, also from Prisha. How do lectures work? What kind of laptop / note-taking device is the best in your opinion? Aspa, did you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So lectures, okay, well, I guess it depends on the class. We have a variety of different types of lectures. There's labs and tutorials, and then your actual lectures. Typically in first year, they're a little bit bigger. So I would say about like 100 to 200 students per class. And then it's similar to high school, as in your professor's in the front and he's like mic'd up, and it's a typical lecture style. He's talking and everyone else is taking notes. In terms of the best way to take notes, I personally always liked having notes on my laptop, but it depends on the class. Like I had a math class in my first year, did not take notes on my laptop for that because I'm not gonna type out all the numbers and everything on my laptop. It's easier to write in that situation. But for the lectures where it's more just taking notes rather than dealing with numbers, I definitely did prefer my laptop just to keep everything organized. So yeah, that was me. But again, it honestly depends on what you like. Like I know some people that use their notebooks for most of their classes and they love that and it worked for them. So it's all about just trying everything and seeing what works best for you and what helps you stay the most organized.
I agree. Nice. Okay. Our next question, Maher, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for coming back. Nice to see you again. If you had a 100% chance to get enrolled into another university, would you switch? I can kind of answer this one, and then if anyone, any of my colleagues want to join on after, you can feel free, but I would not switch. I am so happy with the decision I made to come here. Every single day is a new learning opportunity, and I'm so excited every single day to come to campus because of the community feel. I truly feel like the University of Calgary is just one big family, and I'm always feeling so welcomed, and like I can just talk to anyone. There's so many support services, and help is all around you everywhere you're looking for it. So I've never regretted my decision. Every day, yeah, like I said, I'm so excited, and there's just always something going on, something new to do. So it's never boring. And yeah, it's just as long as you make the most of your experience. And yeah, I've loved every single day of it. So if anyone else wants to answer, you can as well.
Wait, so you meant okay, so I've been raising my hand. So you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, to begin with, I'm from Morocco, and I study in American Academy Casablanca, which is an American school with an American curriculum in Casablanca, Morocco. So usually there are some Moroccans who want to go to Europe, universities in Europe and stuff. But me, I would like to go in faraway places like America, Canada, the UK, etc. So the question is regarding scholarships and where will you live? So I know there are dorms here in UCalgary. There's the residence. So what I want to know is how are the procedures for scholarships, let alone residences, going to be?
Thank you for asking that. Fiona, did you want to answer part of this one? Because Fiona actually lived in residence, so she can kind of speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So for the residence application, I would say it's super straightforward. If you do happen to know somebody that is coming to UCalgary, so maybe one of your friends or maybe somebody you connected with as well, you can definitely choose to room with them. Or you could choose to do our magic service, which is a survey where you answer a bunch of questions and they'll supposedly try to match you with somebody that would be considered your lifelong friend. And it's just questions like, how are you as a person? Are you a very quiet person? And etc. So that is one of the processes. Those are for double rooms, but there's also single rooms available as well. I would really say try to apply as early as possible for residents because these rooms do tend to be limited and they can fill up. So try to apply for residence as early as possible. And then you have the all you care to eat meal plan, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about cooking or buying groceries or anything like that. You just go in and eat as many times as you want during the day, which is really nice. And yeah, residence was really fun. There were so many different residence activities. I went to the residence activity, which was called Calgary Zoo Lights, where I got to go to the Calgary Zoo with all my floor mates. And then we all learned how to take the train together. And then we all took pictures with the Calgary Zoo Lights, and super cool, super nice. I would say residence is really great to consider if you're thinking about meeting new friends as well. Yeah, really nice.
Thank you,
Well,
Fiona. And oh, sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, well, that's pretty cool to hear about the residents and stuff. Well, what I want to know is how can I apply for scholarships, and how can I compete in some scholarships so that I achieve them and stuff?
Sure. So for our scholarships, you will apply for those directly after you submit an application of admission. And our application just opened yesterday. So this is a perfect time to start looking into applying. And on your My UCalgary Student Center, which is where you will apply for your scholarships, you will be able to see all of the eligibility requirements and criteria for all of our awards and scholarships. We do offer international awards and scholarships as well. So you will just apply directly from there, and it'll have it all laid out for you there. And we have some that are more academic based, and then some that are more like community involvement kind of based. So there's tons of different scholarships and awards available to apply. If you want, I can also leave a link in the chat to our main scholarships and awards page where you can just find out more information on that. So I will link that in the chat for you. But yeah, it's all done on your My UCalgary Student Center after you submit an application of admission. And as well, you do not have to be accepted in order to apply to scholarships and awards. You can do that just directly after you apply.
Awesome. Thanks for the info. And also, how much are the scholarships going to be? Like, how much dollars?
Yeah, so it really depends on the scholarship. They can range anywhere up to, I believe, I'm actually not 100% sure what our most expensive scholarship is. If anyone else knows, they can feel free to share that. But yeah, we have several scholarships with a wide range of amounts.
Understandable. Thank you.
All right, our next question, I believe, is from Prisha again. So she said, how did you decide which degree to get? Would you have liked to do something other than what you are studying right now? Did anyone want to take this one?
Sure, I'll take this one. So how did you decide what degree to get? Okay, I honestly struggled a lot with deciding what degree I wanted because I feel like I liked doing a lot of things in high school. What really helped me was just kind of narrowing down what subjects I really liked. So I liked English, and then I went into business because there's a lot of writing associated. And then I also liked doing things where I was able to interact with people. So that is also what led me to business. Something that I always recommend, though, to students that are a little unsure is to listen to the Choose UCalgary podcast. Aiden actually does host some of the podcasts too. And there's a podcast for every faculty, and it goes in detail out with every faculty. And it tells you like the perks of each one, cool things that are in each one, and it really, really helps differentiate between each one. So yeah, I always recommend that if you're a little unsure. And then would you have liked to do something other than what you are studying right now? I like the degree I chose, so I think I would stay in the degree that I chose, but like I think I would still be open to doing other things, but I like the degree that I chose. So yeah.
Thank you, Aspa. And then our next questions, are double rooms or single rooms expensive? And is it possible to live in residence for only first year and not the second? Yes, it is possible. You are not required to live on residence for your second year or even your first year. We just highly, highly encourage it for your first year. As Fiona talked about, all the amazing opportunities and perks of living on campus. And we can provide you our residence services website in the chat where it lays out all the prices and the different plans and room packages that you can access through there. So we can just provide that in the chat for you so you can get more information through there. Okay, next question from Rizwan. If I'm interested in taking kinesiology as my major, am I able to do research with other faculties over the summer? And can I do them starting in the first year of my studies? So yes, if you are in kines, there's tons of different research opportunities, and you aren't just limited to the kinesiology faculty. If you're interested in research, it really is just what you're interested in, about what you're interested in, and making connections with professors or other research like representatives on campus. So it really is just a matter of reaching out and asking them. And we do offer tons of different research programs, such as the PURE program, and lots of other ways for undergraduate students to start getting involved in research as soon as possible. It's really awesome that you're interested in it going in so that you know kind of like how to get started. You can start looking into it earlier on. So we can also provide links to our undergraduate research page where you can find out more information on there. And yeah, like I said, there is lots of different summer opportunities as well. So just take a look into that and hopefully you're able to find something that you like and something that you can get involved with. So I'm just gonna search for the link there and I can provide it in the chat. But in the meantime, yeah, just keep feeling free to ask any questions that you have.
Just adding on to the research question, you're definitely not limited to just doing research in kinesiology. I'm in community rehabilitation, but I'm doing research with the health sciences department right now, which is not my major. So definitely, like Aiden said, explore your interests and you can do research in whatever topics that interest you.
Okay, another good question. How do you manage your time? Fiona, did you want to answer this one?
Sure, thank you. I say managing time really comes to like how good your organization skills are. For me, I find that the better I am able to organize my schedule and my responsibilities and everything like that, the better I am at managing my time. So currently I'm involved in a lot of different clubs as well as classes and doing my full-time studies and full-time co-op program as well. So I find that I organize my day-to-day life, my day-to-day responsibilities from using Google Excel sheets or anything like that, whatever helps you kind of organize it in the best way that outlines what you need to do and what your different goals are and different deadlines is the best. I found when I was doing 5 courses, I organized all of my different deadlines for each of these courses, when my assignments were due, when my midterms and final exams were, what days that I wanted to dedicate to studying this course and which days I wanted to dedicate studying the X course. And then that really helped me, as well as then I was able to figure out all of my core stuff. Then I was able to figure out what times I was available to do work at. So whether I was able to tell my manager what times I would be able to work which shifts. And then once I figured all of that out, then I would communicate with my clubs and what kind of times I would be able to commit to different meetings as well as different club events. So all of it just for me came down to organization and how well I was just able to organize my life in that way. But I would say it takes time. It definitely isn't an overnight process of being able to organize your life super well. It took me some time to really understand what worked for me and how to organize my life the best, that I understood it. So it definitely takes time, but I would say don't stress about it. Time management is key, but you definitely have a lot of time to figure it out as well.
Thank you for that, Fiona. I definitely agree. So yeah, our next question. I understand that in my major, I have choices to take courses that I'm interested in. Will these courses be found in different campus locations? Vanessa, did you want to answer this one?
Yeah, I can answer this one. So for your courses, most of the time they will be on the main UCalgary campus, just in different buildings. For example, you can have a class in the social sciences building and then have one in Murray Fraser, which is the law building, but typically they would be on main campus. There are a few courses that I've taken at the Foothills campus, but that relates to health and society and faculty of medicine courses. But generally, the courses you would be taking would all stay on main campus, but it kind of depends on what classes you're taking. So hopefully that's helpful.
Okay, our next question. What are the differences between electives and options, and how do electives work? So electives are options. We just call them options at the University of Calgary. And the way that options work is for most degrees, they do allow students to take a few options during their degree for credit to complete their degree, but it doesn't necessarily have to relate to what their area of study is, and certain programs will require you to take like a science option or a faculty of arts option. And it really just depends on your degree. So for example, I'm in business, and in my first year, I had to take a science option, I had to take an English option, and it kind of leaves it up to you as to which one you want to take. So I took geology and creative writing for science and English, but there were other options that I could have done, and it's just a way to kind of make your degree your own and kind of what you're interested in, and explore courses from other faculties as well, so that you're not just limited to your own faculty. But like I said, it's really dependent on what program you're in, because some programs, they don't really have a lot of room for options, or some give you specific options, or if you're minoring in something, you will most likely be filling up all your options with your minor. So really depends, but the great thing about it is that it's different for everyone, and it's a great way to make your degree unique and really your own. I can leave a link in the chat here that kind of goes over what options are, and like all your first year options, and kind of goes into it a bit, dives deeper into it. So you can find more information there. I just left the link for you. Okay, our next question, is it possible to start your degree study during the summer? Aspa, did you want to answer this one?
Yeah, sure. So all of our undergrad degrees actually start in the fall, aside from we have like a nursing after degree. So that likely does not apply to many of you, but so no, we would start fall, so September.
Thank you. SK, you raised your hand. Did you still have a question?
Oh, I want to ask a question, if you mind.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So I wonder if in computer science, it's going to, if in computer science, it's going to be like project based, like basically last year in 11th grade, I had a project at the end of 11th grade where I programmed a Lego EV3 robot using coding and stuff. And yeah, I put so much hard and impressive work in it. So yeah, is it going to be project based here at UCalgary computer science?
Thank you for your question. So the four of us, I don't think any of us have taken a computer science course before, but I can leave the link to our computer science program and even the first year degree guide, and even the list of all the courses in the program. And so with that, you can get a course description of every course that you will be taking, and it'll kind of go over what's expected in the course and what you'll be studying, and like kind of maybe some projects that you might be working on. I know that there is like a lot of coding and those kinds of things in computer science, so I'm sure you will have projects in a few of your classes, but I can leave that there for you. I just put it in the chat, and you'll be able to just see every computer science course and the description along with it.
Okay, thanks for answering my question.
No problem. Okay, next question. I'm afraid if I went into medicine, I won't have time for anything else, and I will have too much homework. Heard from others. What are your thoughts? Did anyone want to take this one?
I can do it. I definitely think that it is really hard to find free time for yourself, and as well as just find free time for yourself when you are feeling really busy with classes and everything else. But if you are afraid that you don't have that much time away from homework, then the best thing is maybe don't take too much of a course load. So you can always definitely just do 3 courses. It just takes 3 courses to be considered a full-time student. So you can always just do 3 courses. That could really help. As well as maybe decreasing your course load for one of them, and then maybe doing an elective during your semester, so then that elective hopefully has less course loads and less homework, and then you can focus on your med school homework. But that could really help. But once again, it really just comes down to time management. I would say that each class has their own different set of requirements for each course, so different assignments and different exams, different midterms. So you could have a midterm for a class coming up, but that's the only thing coming up for that class. So then you can focus on your assignments or reports in the meantime for other classes. So it really does differ. And then you can definitely find time for yourself and find time to do other homework in other classes as well. Does that help? Definitely not something to stress too much about. There's so many different ways to get some help from professors and teachers and TAs and students if you do need any help for your homework at all.
Thank you, Fiona. Our next question, I feel like it kind of goes along with that. How do you know when to say yes and no to different opportunities, and how do you guys take time off? So yeah, like Fiona kind of mentioned, it really just differs as to what you have going on and what you think you can handle. It's always good to say yes to everything, but there comes a point in time when you have to know like what you have going on and what you can manage. Don't overdo it, especially in your first year, because it is a transition right out of high school. You don't want to overwhelm yourself too much, but like Fiona said, we have so many support services and everyone is here to help you. No matter what you need help with, there will always be someone that can help you on campus. So it really just kind of, depends what other things you have going on, whether you want to say yes or no to an opportunity. And how do you guys take time off? It is really important to take time for yourself as well. And I think something that has really helped me personally is just getting outside and exploring. Like we do have the mountains super close, going on walks, hikes, just being out in nature is a great way to just kind of clear your mind a bit and take time for yourself, as well as just like watching Netflix, laying on a couch, just having that downtime. It is important to make time for that too, so that it's all about balance and hanging out with your friends and also having time to study. It's all about just trying to balance everything and making sure you can stay on top of your schedule. So yeah, I hope that helps. And we are running out of time soon here, but we can answer a few more questions. So our next question is, are any of you planning to go to grad school? If so, how did you decide whether to go or not? Vanessa, did you want to answer this one?
Yeah, so for me, I am planning to go to grad school. I've decided that I want to pursue a career in occupational therapy in the future. And in order to do that, I do need to go to grad school or get a master's program. And so because of that, that was what made my decision to decide to go to grad school. And so, yeah.
For me personally, I have not decided yet. I don't think I'll go to grad school right away, but maybe something that I'll do in the future, in maybe like 10 years or so. But the great part about it is that we will all have our undergraduate degrees. So there's always that option in the future if that's something that we do decide that we want to do. So yeah. Thank you, SK, for letting us know. And thank you for attending.
Also, before I go, I'm going to send you a video about my IT project from last year that I just talked about. So if you don't mind, hold up.
Yeah, sure. You can link it in the chat if you want.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I think there are some issues with the video, so really sorry about that.
That's okay. Sounds super interesting though.
But anyway, see you later. Have a nice day and take care.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left here. So if anyone wants to ask any other questions, feel free. If not, I know that there was a question asked in the last webinar of what is our favorite memory that we've made at the University of Calgary so far. So maybe each of us can kind of share that until another question comes up. Aspa, do you want to start with this one?
Sure. Favorite memory, that's hard. Okay, wait, does someone else want to go first while I think of mine?
I think there's one more question that we could answer in the chat in the meantime.
Yeah, I just saw that pop up too. So yeah, before we talk about our memories, we can answer this question. Should I apply to more than one university or just one? Aspa, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. I always think it's better to apply to more than just one, just in case something goes wrong with your application or you don't get into just one. Super important to keep your options open, and if you have the opportunity to apply to multiple, I think you may as well give it a shot. And then that way you have backup schools as well if you don't get into your first choice. So yes, I think it's important to apply to more than one, as long as they're programs that you're interested in.
Okay, well, I can share one of my favorite memories in the meantime. Actually, something that just happened recently was the kickoff for our Dinos football team. And my friends and I, we all attended that. And it was so much fun. It was a great way to go out, cheer on the Dinos. The kickoff is the first home game of the season, and all the students come together and celebrate the start of the school year. And usually there's all these fun games that go on outside of the stadium, and everyone just like celebrates the whole day and gets so excited to cheer on our Dinos and get in the school spirit and start off the school year. So that just happened this year, and that was actually my first time ever going to a kickoff, and I'm in my 4th year. So I highly recommend going in your 1st and 2nd and 3rd year and every year, because I wish I went. So be sure to check that out if you do come to the University of Calgary. It's also a great way to just meet new people and really just have fun with your friends and get a good experience out of it. All right, I don't see any more questions coming up, but we can wait a couple more minutes here. Okay, well, if there are no more questions, we can just wrap up the webinar here. So thank you everyone for coming and for answering or for asking all of our questions. I hope we were able to answer them well, and I hope that you enjoyed this webinar. And if you have any other questions for us, you can always shoot us an email, or you can swing by the Ask UCalgary Student booth and just type in the chat, and we'll be on there chatting at the open house exhibition hall there. So just feel free to ask us any questions on there. And yeah, thank you again so much for coming. And we hope everyone wants to apply to the University of Calgary. Applications are open. So make sure you go check that out. And yeah, thank you again. And this is the end of the webinar now. So thank you, everyone.